Landlord gave a 30 notice but forgot to send email. Our landlord for our house in Oklahoma told us that she will send us a 30-day notice because she has to sell the house. A few weeks later, we are exchanging emails with her and she sends an email basically stating that she meant to send this email a while ago but didn't, and claims we have 11 days left to move out. So she told us she was gonna give us a written notice, however we didn't actually receive that notice until weeks later? Do we actually have to abide and move out in 11 days because she forgot to send the email? Or do we have 30 days from receiving the actual written notice? You get 30 from proper written notice. Sounds like you have not received any proper notice. And Oklahoma has pretty specific rules about how notice is given. Email may not count. In my reading, it doesn't. Link send that link and tell the landlord to please provide proper notice if they want to terminate it. Fearnet. Fearnet. You can negotiate with the landlord. If you are willing to move out by the date requested, even though 30 days notice has not been provided, you can ask for the landlord to compensate you. E.g., I am happy to move by X date, but would like my rent pro-rated to that day in addition to a cash payment of $XXX for an expedited departure. I would also like my security deposit returned at the same time you provide me compensation to guarantee I am made whole. Don't look at this as a problem, look at it as an opportunity. If you don't leave until the official 30-day notice date, how much money does your landlord stand to lose? Anything less than that should be a win for them. You have the leverage, start to negotiate. You've got two options here. Best outcome is to negotiate cash for keys. Unfortunately, while you did mention plans to sell the house, no notice was delivered and no specific dates were discussed before this email. Moving out on such short notice would incur significant costs for me. I would be happy to accept an early termination of the lease in exchange for $2,500 in addition to the full return of the security deposit. Otherwise I will have to insist on honoring the lease and state law. If this is unagreeable, please send the state-mandated notice so I can plan accordingly. That's kind of a floor. Depending on what a security deposit in your area runs, you might want to start higher. If no number is worth it for you, skip it, but you know you're going to have to move. Moving with some cash in pocket and no security deposit headache is infinitely preferable. Emo. If you do find a compromise, make sure any agreement is in writing. Unfortunately, while you did mention plans to sell the house, FYI never ever write something like this, acknowledging that you had constructive notice. You have 30 days from the actual written notice. What she intended to do and what she really did are two different things. You have from when you received the notice to move, not from when she wanted you to have the notice. But there is more to consider here. She wants you out in 11 days? Could you do that if she gave you your security deposit back in full right now to use on another place, and would she pay for movers to help you? It's basically cash for keys, but you could work this to your favor if needed. Something to consider. Otherwise you might be on the hook to move all yourself or pay movers on your own, which both of those cases can be rough. Surprised no one has asked, but when does your lease expire? Was about to say, a lease doesn't just end because somebody sells the property. The new owner has to take over the lease.